It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports.
And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Caps and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Columbus Caps and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brennan Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise. And that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
First down, here's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. That's complete right side to Asiasi. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. 2nd and 5 now. Burrow, he gets this one to Boyd. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little. That
they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
Touchdown, Bengals! Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Hands it off out of the gun. Gets around him. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. $7 yards there and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Columbus with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They were victorious over the Chargers last week, and now they work with a lead again here as they come up 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. 2nd and 6. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Burrow. He's got his big tight end, and I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the defense. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. Finding room at midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Boyd's the target, and he hands it over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. That one caught along the sideline. Did he stay in? Yes, he did. But hang on here. A penalty marker is on the field. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
McPherson's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. They'll look to throw again. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here now 3rd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, and it's the Colts who have the lead in that one. Geno Smith, a touchdown pass in that first half. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. George Pickens, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Wan'Dale Robinson, a touchdown reception. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, get us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Daxton Hill. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground.
To the 22-yard line.
From the 22,
Burrow.
That's taken in by Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. That is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Looking for the end zone. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a toss here, short side. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They go play action here on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Second and 6. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Caps have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Now it's Burrow.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. Open man is Higgins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. He's got the first down and more.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
They're going to run the jet sweep on 3rd down.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I can hear it right now that most people in our business are saying, why aren't they running the football? But I happen to agree with this strategy. They've had success all game long. I don't think they should go away from it. Too often, teams go into that protect mode and end up giving away the football. This team has stayed aggressive, and it's working out for them.
Touchdown, Bengals. T. Higgins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Bengals are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Second and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Staying on his feet.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. 90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. Oh, did the kicking team get it? Yes. The onside kick works like a charm. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Flush to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, it's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for the Bengals, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.
It's week 3 of the 2023 season, and we'll see the Colts' rocket-armed quarterback. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball, 4 touchdown throws.
It's the Colts and the Caps on Monday Night Prime Time.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we wrap up week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Columbus Caps. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Columbus Ball Club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
And Smith's throw caught by Pierce.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. From the 31, Smith.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 113 yards.
So, partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll get about 3 here, up to the 44-yard line.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for the sack.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Smith.
A throw for Pittman is intercepted.
And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And down he goes just beyond the 35, and that pretty move got him some extra space to run. 2nd and 4. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field.
Now early on, the game could be called a measure.
After the interception, here's Smith.
This one finds Pierce on the out route.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Now Gino on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Gino.
He's got his man. It's Pierce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, this defense for the Colts, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Now they pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 4.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Columbus with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Ball on the 8. 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And this one is right through. And it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Smith.
And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st down, Smith. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
Smith now to throw. And this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Now back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Roughing the passer, defense.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts getting ready to go.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Geno now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded just inside the 30. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
2nd and 2.
They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Back to throw again. And a quick throw here that's complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Brian Robinson, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in the victory. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for our home team, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Fields it right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. They'll look to throw.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes a mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
They go play action here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Second down and 8.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They're going to look to throw.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Gino, caught out left side by Robinson. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
The 2nd down pass. Complete to his tight end. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success. And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing is Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. On second down, it's Taylor. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Here's Smith. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again.
With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line.
2nd and 6. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He was defended by Kenny Moore.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
Well, I mean, both offenses have clearly struggled throughout, so kind of fitting that it's another big defensive play that yields points here in the late going.
Yeah, really, both of these defenses have been up to the task throughout this game, and we haven't seen much in terms of offensive creativity or results. And there, not only does the defense force a turnover, but they have the presence of mind to take it back for 6 points.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their lead is hanging by a thread after that pick 6, but look, they're still in the...
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up second.
Back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up
Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
He was brought down at his 49-yard line.
2nd and 9 now. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you...
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Taken down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith.
Quick slant caught by Pierce. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
On the handoff, Taylor.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Yeah, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the red zone now, Smith.
That one finds Pierce right side. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Looking for Pearson. He's got him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the Colts have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers.
You're holding
what
up
does that
4
mean?
fingers. That signifies the fourth quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the fourth quarter, what we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up. Had that lead, they were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
He was defended by Julian Blackman.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now back to throw.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Taylor.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Smith.
And he'll find Pittman. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And they take a knee. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Rodrigo Blankenship with an important one.
This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Indianapolis, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll see Denzel Perryman. He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance.
It's the Texans and the Caps, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Houston Texans and the Columbus Caps. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Columbus Ball Club entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
This fielded right at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive.
Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week.
18 carries, 65 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Throwing, Mills.
He completes this to Russell Gage. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Mills now from the 50.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A 1st down throw for Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Mills.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Mills to the air again.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 91 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Down inside the 40.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side.
Now an option play on 2nd down. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
On second down, here's Pierce.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mills.
And that's complete to Cooks.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll go option to the short side.
Mills hit, and he loses the ball.
And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way.
And this is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. Now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does, but most of the time the quarterback swings the ball away from his body, and in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
The tackle by Denzel Perryman. A gain of a yard.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Complete to number 82. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Desmond King picks it.
And the Texans are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it. And if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Steps away to his left. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd and 10.
Mills, he's got his man. It's Pierce.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Mills on first down. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Mills from the gun on third down.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
This offense back to work now late in this first half. And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Here's a 2nd and 7. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there.
Complete to number 22. He's out of bounds. Right,
so they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return.
And the Texans will take over. And the Texans going to get the football. Mills now looks to throw on first down. This will be complete to Mechie.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
On 1st and 10, Mills. And that's complete downfield to Cooks.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 53. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Drew Lock throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. The Panthers still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And they were able to have some success throwing the football against the secondary. Look for that to continue as they try to break this deadlock. Meanwhile, on the other side, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. He'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards there on 3rd down as they pick up a 1st and 10.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1. It's now
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Dancing away at the 35. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 30. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
On 2nd and 9, Mills into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And this one is right down Broadway. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans
at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here's incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mills. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Pierce now up the middle. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On 2nd and 9. Mills. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Delivers another one to Pierce. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Play action now. Mills. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Columbus. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mills to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Pierce. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Complete to Damian Pierce. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Mills. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. To throw, Mills. And this is going to be intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that, a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. 2nd and 5 from the 8. They'll toss this to Pierce on the right side.
He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from 1st down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And he'll just get rid of it.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now.
So he's good with that one, but remember, he did miss one earlier, and right now that's the difference in the ball game.
And he knows it all too well, but also understands he can't dwell on it. He's got that one through. That's what counts at this point.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. 4th quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago, and it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Going for it with Pierce. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
Returnable here from the 38. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 46-yard line.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win, and in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So for the home team here, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.